sir. Our next guest tonight is far too classy a woman to be on this program. She is the veteran of over 70 motion pictures, including A Day at the Races, The Thin Man, and the original Jane in a slew of Tarzan movies. Her latest film is Hannah and Her Sisters. Please welcome Maureen O'Sullivan. See you. Thank you very much for being here. You look terrific. Congratulations.
I'm
wait, no, it couldn't be much of an effort. You're a stunning woman.
Oh, well, thank you.
Sure. It must be very exciting being a part of this film that's doing so well, Hannah and Her Sisters.
Oh, I'm very happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy for everybody, and I'm especially, I guess, happy for Woody.
What was it like working with him and your daughter on the set and so forth? Was it tense? A lot of anxiety?
No, there's no tension really on Woody's sets. You're just there to work. And I had worked really, it's funny, I'd worked with Mia before. I'd played her daughter.
You played Mia's daughter? Now, how does that happen?
Well, only in readings. They didn't have enough actors when they were doing The Great Gatsby. So they needed somebody to play the daughter. So I played the 5-year-old daughter in all the readings. And we were so serious about it. It was crazy, you know, that we looked at each other, it was all over. He said, are we nuts, you know? What's the matter with us?
It's very odd.
To be so serious about doing something like that. No, she's very easy to work with.
And not that we want to spend the rest of the night talking about him, but what's he like to be around?
Woody is very much business, you know. He's there for business. He's very, very nice to be around. He's wonderful in this way. You don't rehearse much, or if he wants you to do something, he'll tell you. But otherwise, it's just do it. And then he'll say, well, I either like it or I don't like it. And then I think that he sees what you have to offer.
Yeah.
And he'll enlarge on that, and if he feels a certain sympathy, well, then he'll play upon that.
So that's really...
It's a lovely way of
that's
working.
Good for an actor, I would guess.
It's wonderful for an actor. And if I have time, I just thought of something interesting. I think that
Good Lord, look at that ring. Whoa! That's a beauty. I
want to tell you, it's my engagement ring.
Oh, my.
I was married 3 years ago, so don't give up hope, fellas.
Oh, congratulations. Boy, that's quite a rock there.
I know.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. You're going to say something else?
No, I was going to say about Woody's working. Woody, I think, shoots a lot of film. Whereas my former husband, John Farrow, wouldn't shoot anything more except what he was going to use on camera. But Woody, I think, shoots a lot of film. And then he's like a musician. Then he'll say where the crescendo should be or the diminuendo. And because he had me do a close-up 3 different ways, because he said I may want to lift it, or I may want to subdue it, or I think he thinks not only like a writer, but like a musician too.
And you think that's a good way to approach it?
Oh, I do, because Woody is the whole thing. He writes it, directs it, stars in it. What more can you do?
Anyway, again, it's doing very well for everybody concerned. Let's talk about other people that you've worked with.
Yeah.
Is this you and Groucho Marx?
Yeah.
This is from what, A Day at the Races? Is that what we said? What was this man like?
He was adorable. He was.
Boy, you're a hot ticket there, aren't you?
Not bad.
Yes, sir. And he was a nice man, easy to get along with?
He was a very gentle man, oddly enough. And when we first started working together, we worked at Santa Anita, the racetrack, a lot, and we had dressing rooms, separate dressing rooms, and he'd come in, knock on my door. He'd say, hey, honey, how does this sit with you? And he'd tell me a gag. Frozen face.
Yeah.
Next morning he'd say, listen, I got another one to tell you. Frozen face. The third morning I said, listen, Groucho, I really hate funny men.
Yeah.
I will never laugh. I said, so don't tell me any more jokes. Not at 9 in the morning, anyway. I said, I like humor to come out of something else, but no gags.
Yeah.
He said, you're so right, honey. He said, I won't. So from then on, we were inseparable friends. We really were. He used to bring me lunch instead of jokes.
So, that's nice. And this is quite a photo. This was, don't tell me, this must have been from one of those Tarzan movies?
Yeah.
Now, do you tell me who everybody in this photo is?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Well, that's Jane. Me. Where wearing my Mother Hubbard because they objected to my first costume, which was much more sexy and exciting. Johnny Weissmuller, Johnny Sheffield, and a horrible little creature called Cheetah.
Cheetah.
Horrible.
How did you get along with Cheetah?
Well, Cheetah, when first Cheetah came on the set, she was adorable. A little young monkey. And I really loved her. And I could tell she loved me. We were great friends. And then one day I saw a rather mean look come into her eyes. And I began to notice, I mean, you don't go looking for such things.
No.
But I began to see that Cheetah, the girl, was not a girl, was a male.
Oh.
No, not a... Listen, I must say, my husband said, look, now don't get carried away on the show. He said, lay off those monkey jokes. He said, you're supposed to be a lady. Now, lay off.
Lay off the monkey jokes, huh?
But anyway, I began to... Should I lay off or
No.
go on?
Now, what do you mean? So, obviously,
anyway,
there was...
There began to be a physical change. So I began to see that Cheetah was really a he.
A male.
A male. Well, not only was she a male, but she was a homosexual.
And how exactly did this manifest itself?
It was very bad because she conceived this passion for Johnny Weissmuller.
For Johnny Weissmuller?
Really a passion.
No kidding.
No kidding. And, yeah, lots of women did, too, but anyway, this monkey did. Crazy about Johnny. And every time I would go near Johnny, I would see this wicked look. She's getting ready to spring at me.
Yeah.
Now, what is unusual about this photograph that you have there is that a lot of the photographs of myself and Johnny together, you know, he has his arm around me, you will see Cheetah standing with one leg way out of the camera. And you know why that is? Because it was on a chain. So that she would not attack me.
Oh, is that right?
So she was held on a chain.
Yeah,
so
you can actually see just a little bit of it along the limb there. Yeah.
She was really tied off. So you would only see just like, you know, just like that much of her, you know.
Yeah. So Cheetah was actually jealous of you and your relationship.
Yes, very jealous.
Yeah.
So it got to be so bad that, of course, you couldn't play all the scenes in the film with one leg out of the camera for the monkey all the time. They had to show the whole animal at times.
Yeah.
So the whole animal was rather embarrassing, if you know what I mean, because it had this physical attraction. But it was completely physical.
No kidding.
Yes, it was just as physical as it
That must have been terribly distracting.
It was also...
or maybe a bonus. I don't know. I don't know. How do you...
It was not only physical. The monkey is brown, you know. And the physical was pink. I haven't finished this drama.
Brown and pink.
So then came a question of camouflaging this passion.
Wait, no, don't tell me it was spray paint. Where is he? Come on.
So the makeup man was called in. And he said, would you take care of this situation? And the makeup man said, no. He said, my union wouldn't permit it. Oh, says the director, this is bad. So then he called in the prop man, and he said, would you take care of the situation? No, said the prop man. My union would not permit me to do such a thing. Well, finally, the poor animal, they had to shoot it with BB guns, and then it would run way up in the roof and lose all its ardor, you see.
Oh.
I mean, just tiny shots.
Oh,
they
yeah.
didn't kill it.
Yeah. Well, that's really not a pleasant story any way you look at it.
Can I just tell you the end?
Yeah.
Well, I met William Wellman at a party who directed one of the Tarzans, and a very famous director, Wings and so on. And so he said, did you know Cheetah's in the zoo? And I said, good, no, I didn't know that. So he said, why don't you go up and visit? go visit her in the zoo. And I did. I went to Griffith Park. And here's this enormous animal. I mean, enormous. It's grown to be huge now, in a cage. So next time I saw Bill, Bill said, "Did Cheetah know you?" And I said, "Oh, yes." She spat right in my face.
No kidding. She remembered you. Yeah. Boy, that's too bad. Yeah. How many of those films were you in?
I think it's 5, but I'm not sure.
And we got all kinds of other stuff to talk about. What do we do?
Yeah, we better get off.
Okay, no. We don't have to get off. We'll stay right here. We'll do a commercial, and then we'll be right back with Maureen and Sullivan. Sullivan is here, and let's talk about Clark Gable. You worked with him as well?
Let's do that, because I could never go home after those monkey stories.
No, that was a great story. That's a great story.
Lock me out.
No, he shouldn't. And you told it very nicely, I think.
Did you think I was refined?
You were quite refined, and you told it with a delicacy and a great deal of wit, and I think we all enjoyed it.
Well, thank you very much.
Now, what films did you work with Clark Gable?
Strange Interlude, and something else, but I particularly remember Strange Interlude because I didn't come on until the last part of the picture. And they were made up like very old people, Norma Shearer, and it was the very end. I don't know if you know the story. And you talk back to your thoughts and that. Anyway, well, there's 2 stories, but I think I'll tell you the best one. I think it's the best.
It's a good policy for people wanting to be future guests on this show. Tell us the better story first.
Perhaps it's the best one. I don't know. Anyway, I saw these 2 old characters there, you know, and I was quite young at the time.
How old were you?
Not even 19.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I was 19.
Yeah.
But I didn't go to films, and I'd never seen Clark Gable, and I didn't know much who Norma Shearer was. And I saw these 2 characters with gray hair. It must be a very good makeup, really. And I thought, oh, 2 nice old folk. So I sat there talking, and Clark Gable was talking to me and talking. And finally he says, would you like to go horseback riding with me? With you? But you're too old, I said to myself. I'd be galloping ahead, you know, and you'd be in the rear. So I said, well, I don't think I can go. So then he asked me out to dinner, and I said, an evening with this old guy. Well, I didn't realize. Maybe this isn't the best story after all. Anyway, I didn't realize until we did the recording, the looping, and he had no makeup on, just how young he was.
He came back and he was his dashing self.
And he was young. I thought, what have I missed? What a fool.
Did you ever have another opportunity to have dinner with him?
No, he never asked me again.
That was it, huh?
That was it.
That's too bad.
But he did do something that I thought was funny. It's very quick, okay?
Okay.
He used to sit talking to me, as I said before, and the prop man came over, or the assistant director. He said, Miss Shearer would really appreciate it if Mr. Gable would stop talking to Miss O'Sullivan between scenes. She expected him to have his mind on his work, I suppose. And he said, what did I hear? Well, you tell Miss Shearer what she can... No, I'll tell her. So he goes over, and he said, Norma, do you know what you can do? And he lets his teeth down. His choppers come right down there. That's what you could do. So, that was very funny.
No, you're all right. You're all right here. Don't worry. We have peaks and valleys.
Anyway, he was...
We're all right. We're all right.
He loved letting his teeth down.
You're saying that he had
false teeth.
False teeth. I didn't realize that.
Oh, didn't you know that?
No, I didn't know.
He called them choppers. So if ever he was annoyed...
You mean in the heyday of his matinee idol star status, he had false teeth?
Choppers.
Yeah. We got 1 minute left. Tell me a story, or tell me about somebody that you may have worked with or knew who you didn't care for, who was no fun to be around, aside from the monkey, obviously. But
Will Rogers, really.
Will Rogers. Now that's interesting.
I'm stepping on a lot of toes.
Because this man built a career as being folksy, down home.
And saying he never met the...
I never met a man I didn't like.
He didn't say he never met a woman he didn't like.
Really? Was he was nasty to you, rude to you, impolite?
He was, he never spoke to me.
Yeah.
I could have been a piece of furniture. I was very glad he didn't speak, because I was afraid what he might have said. A very sharp tongue.
Did he have a reputation as being somebody who was nasty? Off
Could be. Very nasty. Yeah. There's an actress, and I think it would be unkind to mention her name, although I'm generally unkind.
No, there's an actress involved here? Who was the actress? Somebody we would know?
We can't be that unkind.
Okay.
But he had to kiss her in the scene. Mm-hmm. And he said, tell her to take off her lipstick and put on mercurochrome.
Ooh.
It's pretty sharp,
yeah,
isn't it?
Yeah. And
see why I don't want to mention her name?
No, tell us who it was.
Guess.
Was she...
It wasn't me.
No, it wasn't you. No. Well, that's strange. And, speaking of... You also worked in this building, didn't you, on the old Today Show, the very early Today Show, I believe, right?
I'd rather not mention that, but you brought it up, yes.
Well, now, why would... No, you should mention that. That's
sure, it's all right. I was absolutely awful.
No.
I was.
What did they have you doing on it?
I was terrible. Well, they were starting out with women on the show. It was before Barbara Walters. Mm-hmm. And, I just couldn't ask questions. Mm-hmm. I can't ask questions.
Yeah.
I can answer them sometimes.
Yeah.
But ask them I can.
How did they get you for that job?
Well, they saw me on an interview, and I guess I was funny.
She'd be terrific. Well, you may get a call from them tomorrow after this.
Well, the most awful one was when I had to interview Kenneth the hairdresser, and my first question was, do you like women? Uh-huh. He was so angry, he got up and he left the set.
Kenneth the hairdresser. We'll be right back, folks. Okay, we're out of time. Maureen, thank you very much. It was a pleasure meeting you. Thank you for being here. Tomorrow, folks, I'm sorry, John Stravinsky was going to be with us. We'll have him rescheduled as soon as possible. Tomorrow, it's New York City Parks Commissioner Henry Stern. Good night, folks.